Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. You know what today is? Monday morning chats with Sack. And Sack is me. I hope that you guys had a great weekend. I had a it was a pretty chill weekend. It was a good weekend, but pretty chill. I didn't do much. Of course, I always had to do something that's fun, so I definitely did that. But most of my time, honestly, was just, reading and researching, nerd stuff. And I got a chance to go to what's called a recovery walk in Baltimore City. And this is the first time I ever been to this area. Like I would drive past. It's called Druid Park. Like I would drive past, but I never like been at the park. And that's where the event was held. And I found out that Baltimore City does this recovery walk in Raleigh for. They've been doing this for the last 14 years. The organization hosts this event and pretty much all the different recovery programs. I found out it was about 28 programs and maybe more. But from what the organizer counted, it's about 28 programs in the city of Baltimore that house people that want to recover from their drug addiction. And I share this all the time that that's major to me because I have family members that suffer from drug addiction. And, I had a stepbrother that overdosed. So it's really near and dear to my heart. And even as president of a bar association, I really stress the importance of, asking for help and mental health and what can we do as an organization of lawyers that can help the community, help those that are in recovery, help those that are just trying to get on the right path. So that was near and dear to my heart. So I got a chance to make that connection, which was pretty cool. And then football. Yes, my team did lose. I'm not sad. Um, they did not play as well as I wanted them to, but I got a chance to watch the rest of the games. The Ravens did an excellent job, so good job to the Ravens. You guys did a hell of a job, so I'm happy about that. But then my allergies was killing me this weekend. Like I took a nap yesterday and I felt like God was calling me home. That's how good the nap was. Like I really just wanted to sleep and I thought like, hey, I'm not waking up. Is it my time to go? Like that nap was amazing. That's how amazing the nap was. But nonetheless, for today's chat is titled Your work environment matters. And so I know sometime I will talk about, experiences I had at the workplace and what I learned from it. But the one thing I can tell you is that your work environment, it matters. Um, I know some of you guys may be working remotely, which is fine. Some of you are reporting to the office, which is fine. But honestly, you want to be mindful of your work environment. Your work environment doesn't mean like you have to report to an office. It's pretty much who you work with and the actual building in which your office is at. And I say that because, when you're working somewhere, majority of your time throughout the day is spent at the office. So when you wake up, you're getting ready for work. Maybe you're working 8 hours, maybe you're working 10 hours, maybe you're doing doubles. So if you think about one day, most of your time is spent at your job. And so you want to be mindful of like, is this a good environment for me? Some people commit suicide because of the stress that their job has and they don't like their job. And I say that because your work environment affects your everyday life. So if you're stressed about your job, you hate your job, it's going to roll in your everyday life. And so you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? And like some jobs that I left, I know people would tell me like, make sure you're there for at least a year. But I'm a big advocate of mental health. And if I feel like this job is affecting my mental health, I will leave. And I can tell the difference when I'm at a job where I actually love, and I can tell when I'm at a job that I actually hate. And the jobs that I did not like, the jobs that I did hate, I would find myself getting headaches as I'm driving to my office. And then once I park and I know that I'm at my office, it was just like this big headache, like this big headache, and it just would not go away until I leave. And I didn't want that for myself, right? I just did not want that. And I just said, what can I do to make things better? Because when I was sad or depressed at my job, when I would leave, sometimes I did not want to do anything but go home and go to sleep. And I just realized that's not the life that I wanted for myself. And now, at this particular stage of my life, um, like I actually enjoy what I do. And there's been other jobs that I enjoyed, I did like it, but this is a different type of feeling that I have. And so I'm happy at my job. Um, the weekends are mine. My weekends are mine. My weekends, I'm enjoying whatever I'm doing. And my job, I'm not thinking about my job. I'm not thinking about people at my job. I'm just happy to enjoy the weekend. Compared to other jobs, I would try to enjoy the weekend, but in my mind, I knew that I had to eventually go back. And that was something that bothered me, something that scared me. And I just said, yeah, I don't want this. So if you're at a job that you don't like, you're at a job that is affecting you, one, you need to see what's the root of the problem. Is it your boss? Is it your coworkers? I know that when I first started to practice, I was around just white men, and most times at firms, I'm like the only black girl, the only black lawyer, right? And there may have been maybe one or two other black, like another black woman or a black man, but they were an admin. And so they supported me the best that they could, but they didn't know the problems that I was facing. And one of those had to do with like, did I know my subject matter well enough? Because I would work on a project and maybe the senior attorney will say, well, hey, I think I don't agree, or, I think you need to change this. And I was always open to constructive criticism, but I didn't know how to speak up. I was afraid what happens if I lose my job. Now, I'm going to speak up. I'm going to speak up. If I don't like how things are like working in the office, if I don't like it, I'm going to say something. And that just comes with, confidence over the year, being confident who I am as a person, being confident in my work product, and being confident in the knowledge that I know. And there's times where someone would say, hey, I see what you're saying, but I don't think you should do this. And I want to know why. But I'm in a good environment. I'm in a great environment. My colleagues are amazing. They're very encouraging. And I could just tell the difference. I could tell the difference in me being in this environment compared to past environments. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I'm not going to encounter problems. There's issues that, there's fires I blow out almost every other day. But I handle it with ease because I like what I do. So hopefully that makes sense. So if you're at a work environment that is toxic, figure out the problem and figure out if you want to stay there, figure out a way how you can solve it. Now, if there is a coworker that bothers you, I'm an advocate of like really addressing that person. And you could do it respectfully, but I'm really an advocate of saying, hey, express how you feel and tell this person like, hey, when you did this is how it made me feel. And sometimes some people don't initially mean to do things that bother you. And there's some people are complete jerks and they would just do things just because. So I will recommend, if you're in this environment that is not healthy for you, I would just recommend talking to the person that's bothering you. And let's say that this person, maybe you give them like, a time frame like, hey, let's see within a month will things change. Is this person still doing the same thing I told them about? And if they keep doing it, hey, go to HR. That is my go-to. Go to HR. Another thing to keep in mind when you're at work, you're not there to make friends. You're there to do your job. And there's one thing that a lady told me like 6 years ago when I was transitioning out of my old job. She said, listen, you're young. I've been working for 35 years. And she said, when you go to your job, no one's not your friend. Don't tell them your business. They don't need to know anything about what you did for the weekend. Now, you may meet friends eventually. I can say there was an exception 2 times where, well, actually, mainly one, where someone at my job actually became like my true friend. Um, and the other people I just became cool with, but I kept my conversations to a minimum. And so she told me, she said, "Hey, when you're at your job, people don't need to know like what you did for the weekend. Just say, hey, I relax. It's none of their business. It's none of their business what you do. You're there to do a job. You're not there to make friends." And I held firm to that. So at my job now, I go into my office, I say good morning to everyone, and I don't talk about my life. I don't. If people ask me certain things, I'm like, hey, I live in the city. That's it. I don't go into detail. You just know what I do at my job. You don't need to know what I do in my personal life. And I say that because you don't know if someone at your job can like turn on you, and then that can create a toxic environment in itself. So this chat is pretty short, but excuse me, allergies too. This chat is really short, but I just want you to be mindful of like your work environment. Your body would tell you when it's time to go. Like your body would tell you like, hey, this is not it. And when I feel that way, I leave. And so you want to make the best life for yourself, whatever that may look like. Your best life will be different than somebody else's, but you want to do whatever you can to make your life the best possible. And one of the things to make your life as best as possible is choosing the right job for you. Now, sometimes you may have turnovers. Maybe you're at a job, you realize, hey, I'm gonna leave and go somewhere else. That's fine. But find a job that you could say, hey, I actually like being here. Like, I actually like it, right? So make sure you do that. Because if not, it would affect your everyday life. And you don't want that. Like, I enjoy my weekends. I enjoy when I get off, knowing that, hey, if I get off, I can go get something to eat, go to a few stores, and I'm at peace. And I can just say right now in my life, I'm just at peace. Like, I'm just relaxed. I know what I want in different aspects of my life, and it feels good. It feels good to have that clarity. And the one thing I make sure is that I'm not at a toxic environment, whether that's friendships, whether that's jobs, whatever. I like peace. So that's why I'm very mindful of where I work at. Some people keep asking me, like, Sakina, would you go back to a firm? No, I would not. There's some firms out there that's been trying to send me messages like, hey, I think you'll be a good fit. It's not. And you get to the point where you realize that, hey, money is not everything. Money is not everything. You can make a lot of money, but the environment is toxic and you don't like it, does it really matter? Like, does it really matter? And so when you're thinking about your work environment, think about a place that you actually feel good at. Like, you enjoy waking up going there. Like, I enjoy waking up knowing that I'm going to teach students. That's like everything to me. But if you don't have a passion to be there, you don't have a desire to be there, then I think it's your time to go. You will find somebody at a good environment where they want the best for you. And that's a great feeling. If you didn't have that, I hope that you do. So make sure that the environment that you're in is healthy, like really healthy. And make sure that you wake up saying, hey, this is where I want to be, instead of trying to figure out when I'm leaving. Like, if you're at a job where you're logging in just to log on in Indeed to figure out, to find a new job, you're not happy there. You're not happy. So I challenge you to find a job that's meant for you. You'll feel it. It'll all make sense. I hope that you have a great Monday. I hope that the remainder of your week is amazing. And Libra season starts September 23rd. So I'm so excited about that. So if you're a Libra, shout out to you. I'm a Libra. I don't fit some of the descriptions that I see. I have more Scorpio traits, so it's like a mixture. But I am a Libra, so definitely a Libra. I like balance. I like balance. That is me. And so I just hope that you just wake up and just never forget how amazing you are. This is Monday, so to all the dope kings out there, just never forget that you are amazing, that you are great, you are phenomenal, you are capable of great things, and you can do whatever you want. So just never forget that. That's all I have. Have a great Monday, guys, and have a great remainder of the week. Oh, and don't forget it's September, so I heard is take a man out on a date. So to the men out there, I hope that you're able to go on a date, like a nice date, like no Applebee's or like Fridays. Like who does that? Don't do that. So I hope that someone asks you out on a date, and I hope that you accept. Take care, guys.